Hi everybody, it's Clary Berry here with my good old trusty dog Rocky. We are just hanging out on a nice lazy Sunday afternoon. Well, not too lazy. We went for about a 3.5 mile run earlier when we woke up. Got to sleep in a little bit and enjoying some kid-free time. So I thought I'd update you guys on what I have been eating this weekend. Um, so we're all the way to day 27 and 28 of the 30-day high carb, Hotel 4 vegan challenge, which I can't even believe that it's almost over. And we'll kind of talk about what I've been doing right, what I've been doing wrong, and all of that here in a little bit. But right now I'm just going to dive right in. So Friday, woke up and actually had really lettuce for breakfast. I can't remember exactly why. I think it was because my bananas were not ripe yet. I hadn't really had a whole lot of lettuce the day before. Sounded good, and so I just had the whole head, took the leaves, kind of rolled them up, dipped them in tomato sauce, and ate it all gone. It was delicious, actually. Kind of odd of what you would normally think as a breakfast, but whatever. So then I had, had a package of blueberries, and this was like my fallback that I had in the freezer. One package of blueberries, and these are like the smaller organic packages. I had about 3 or 4, I think, more packages of mixed berries, and I ate the blueberries whole just because it sounded good, and then I made a smoothie out of the rest of the berries. So it turned out to be about 852 grams. Put that with 32 ounces of water. Took my supplements, still taking B12 just to be sure, and also taking vitamin D right now because I'm not getting a whole lot of sun. I feel like most weeks, if I'm getting any sun at all, it's just a little bit on the face, maybe the hands during the walk. And that's it. So thankfully it's been a little bit nicer this weekend, so I probably get a little bit more this weekend. Can't wait till spring. Anyway, for dinner on Friday night, we were doing Stir Fry Friday, and we went ahead and got some delivery Chinese takeout, and it was delicious. I tried to stick to my regular, I get steamed rice and vegetables basically. Last time I got it, they didn't put tofu in it, which I was happy about, and this time they did. So I ate a little bit of tofu, and I made the mistake of, they made a mistake on my order. They accidentally gave us an extra order of crab rangoon, so I was really fighting myself not to help the kids eat it, because I wanted them to eat it so I didn't eat it, but I also didn't want them to eat it all. It's not healthy. So I ended up taking a tiny little bite of crab rangoon. It tasted good, but not optimal at all. It was easy just to have one. After I had that one taste, I was like, that's more than enough here. And then also I made the mistake of getting their vegetable soup, which I should have asked beforehand, but I just wasn't thinking. I think I was not carved up or something. And so it had eggs in it as well as tofu. So I ended up eating probably a lot of protein. So, and it was hard to also put these in on Chronometer, so I know, my levels are not going to be exact here, but I just put it in as a 9-vegetable stir fry, added some tofu. Oh, and I was also stealing Josh's tofu. He got a vegetable delight, and it had fried tofu in it as well, and that tasted really good to me. So I was really cheating, just bad. And I felt really bad about it, okay, but oh, and not only that, we had to have a little party. Me and Josh had a date. My little one, my oldest one, went on an overnight, and so I kind of felt like I had to treat him. Usually I try to balance it out, if one gets to go to a party or overnight, we do something special. And so we went to the store, and we got some Soy Delicious mini Neapolitan ice cream sandwiches. And they were absolutely delicious, and I was really happy to see they really weren't that much fat. And so I had 5 of those. Okay, and this was not put in correctly at all. I put it in as 5 grams, and that is not correct. So it was low fat, but obviously not that low fat. And with the tofu and everything. It was just pretty ridiculous what I actually ended up eating. And it was probably a good thing. You know how sometimes, when you have a bad situation, really it turns into a learning experience, a blessing, as some like to say. Lesson and a blessing put together is a blessing. Well, it was for me, because it really got me thinking about salt. And so I think I even did my research on salt, and really all I had to do was just look up, the recommended amounts, which and I guess we're talking sodium here rather than salt. People say from 50 grams to 500 is really all you need on this diet. And I've really noticed, I went back and looked at all of my days on Chronometer since I started, the whole 30 days. And basically, I realized that I had only, I think, about 4 days where my sodium was actually under 500. And a couple of these days were at the beginning. And it's funny because I've been trying to not intake very much sodium. So again, this is one of those issues where I'm over on regular standards. I'm way over, on regular standards, and on Chronometer's little thing before I even adjusted it. I was way over on salt. So as a person who's trying to cut back on salt a lot, and who's not adding any salt to meals, and who's consciously not trying to eat salt, I'm still over. So I find it very concerning to what your average person is taking in salt every day without even thinking about it, without even knowing it. When I went on this diet, I didn't care about salt. Salt was only something that old people with hypertension need to worry about, right? No, there's a reason why they have a limit on it, and it doesn't help at all. So I started to think back, okay, why do I still have this bloat on my face? Why have I kind of hit a plateau, and just really kind of been, about the same, feeling and weight and everything like that. So I really believe that this is why. So definitely I will be watching the intake of where the salt's coming from. The jarred products that I have are going to have to go. As far as the the spaghetti sauce, it's got 290 milligrams of sodium in just one serving, and I'm having a whole jar of this stuff, you have to remember too, in 1 or 2 days. So, and then also I was getting, my rice cakes were low salt, and so I definitely have switched to salt free on those, 0 milligrams. So that's a good one. And then also the salsa, I'd been doing a lot of salsa, and again 110 milligrams of salsa right there, and I'm downing the whole thing. So it was pretty easy to figure out where the excess is coming from. And as soon as I had to get rid of all the Chinese food. So even though I knew better by Saturday, I went ahead and still consumed a lot of salt, because it was just there, and I needed to use over the leftovers. So I woke up and did well for breakfast, had about 10 bananas. I've been doing my pineapple, my tropical smoothie. I love it. Even just a little bit of pineapple added to the bananas gives it just an extra kick that I absolutely adore. So 10 bananas, just a few ounces of pineapples, and I had on the road. I love this diet too. One of the other aspects of it is the convenience factor. When you're trying to eat healthy and you're on the go a lot of the time, it's really difficult. I remember I would go through stages where I was making, protein balls and trying to carry those around, and the kids never even liked them. So it's what do you eat? You're always going to be starving. Well, this is really easy. You just take your little lunch box or whatever and fill it up with bananas and grab your thing of blueberries, and you're out the door, and it's so easy. So as my youngest son was getting his pictures taken for basketball, I was just munching down a whole 8-ounce thing of blueberries. It was delicious. Had a couple bananas on the go, and then came home and had my smoothies. And so yeah, then came the vegetable stir fry. Had all that leftover tofu, vegetables, just way too much. The tofu like wasn't even good, you know, and gave some to the dog, and yeah. So anyway, it's funny how everything changes. So I had some lo mein, and I took my supplements. Tried to have lots of extra water to kind of flush out the salt. And then last night, had a little Breaking Bad marathon after I was doing my taxes and cleaning and all of that. And so I just potatoes sounded really good, but I was too lazy to cook them. I waited too long to get hungry. So I just ate my unsalted rice cakes with tomato sauce. So this was kind of like a last hurrah for me on salt. So even though tonight actually will be my transition into day 30, it's going to be really interesting to see how I do on the second month as opposed to the first month when I'm actually doing it right. So for those of you who are watching my videos and, looking at all the food I'm eating, and you know about 80-10-10, and you probably could see like, yeah, she's probably not, doing this right. And I would admit I'm cheating, like all of this stuff is cheating. But I just want you to know, if you're watching these videos and you're not, are really educated on 80-10-10 or Banana Girl lifestyle, then just know that I haven't been doing it right. Like if you want to get tomato sauce, that's fine. Just get some low sodium, or make your own. And that is, of course, I've been using this excuse, like that's what I need to do, that's what I mean to do. And in fact, what I have right now set up is to get some little Simply Organic packets. And I'm going to have these delivered through Amazon Prime on the subscribe and save. And it's going to save me a lot of money. But I need to look at those and make sure that that also is not going to be busting my gut on salt. Because I've found a salsa one and a spaghetti sauce one. So they're just little packets. It's so much cheaper. You just add water. And so, like I said, I'll figure that out and let you guys know what I come up with. But this is, these are my days. These are my last couple days. Had about 2,500 calories on Friday, which I thought was pretty good for all the eating I was doing. I mean, I was only picking at, and no, that's not true. That's not true at all, because it's 5 grams is not, let's just put that up and say, 35, let's say each one is 100, so let's just say 500 grams. I'm not sure right off the top of my head if that's even close, but it's going to be better. So yeah, that puts me more towards like 3,500 calories. But, and it was 26, I had 26.5% fat and 12% protein, which is, too much, especially on the fats. But the thing is the next day I woke up still feeling pretty, relatively good. So it wasn't as good as I felt when I did all raw. But I felt like I could have done worse, and compared to the old days when I used to binge out and then have, the next day feeling it a lot. So, yeah, and you keep in mind, like, there was no alcohol consumed this week whatsoever and other things like that. So, and then yesterday I had, again, about 3,200 calories. So for those of you who still think that, you should be counting your calories, just skip that. Don't worry about it. I will be posting my before and after pictures for my first 30 days tonight or tomorrow. And I can tell you, you can see I put the labels on the old pictures where I definitely looked a little bit different and carried a little bit more weight. And I was definitely counting calories back then, hardcore. So goes to show it's not true. I've had people argue with me, tell me that what I'm saying is just totally false, but I mean, I've got pictures of everything I'm eating. I'm sharing every day what I'm eating, and I'm keeping track, which is, more than I can say for a lot of people. So don't listen to somebody else tell you how your body works. Track your own calories, your nutrients, and figure it out for yourself. So yesterday I did 17.5, brought the fats down a little bit, did about 73% carbs and 9% protein. And so that brings us to today. And I was still really, really good on nutrition, even though I was kind of binging, I think because of the fact that, a lot of it was still vegetable based, still helped. So I had a little salt, and oil on top, but, it could have been worse. I just, like I said, I still can't imagine what the meat eaters, and especially the people who eat a lot of meat, I just cannot imagine. I just can't imagine. So, did you guys see my vegan shirt? My new vegan shirt? My first vegan shirt! Yay! Corpse-free diet for the win! Okay, so I'm going to go back and finish my pineapple banana smoothies here. And I hope you guys are having a great, great, great weekend. Please leave any questions, comments, whatever, in the comment section below. And don't forget to eat your fruit. Thanks.